And now, live from LA for the Netflix is a Joke Fest, it's the Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Robert Kelly.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Hey, here he is.
Paul Virzi's in the house. He's going to be at the Troubadour in Los Angeles Friday, May 10th.
Brother?
That's this Friday, everybody. It's the Joel Kim Booster Theater, I think they're calling it now. The Joel Kim Booster Theater. What's up, handsome? That's Friday, May 10th. This Friday, everybody, for the Netflix The Joke Festival. For tickets and all tour dates, go to paulvirzi.com. It is the great Paul Virzi, everybody.
What's up, man?
What's up, my man?
Good to see you guys on this
buddy?
coast.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I called you last night.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I wanted to see if you wanted to smoke a cigar in Beverly Hills.
I wasn't. I was up at the. We took the crew and we had a big thing at the house with all the people.
Yeah,
Because
because you're mumbling through the excuse. You could have just said I'm doing something more fun.
I did. No. Not more fun. Not more fun. It was a party. Jay, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm just
What are you
upset. Look at
I know.
Paul's hat. He's so happy about the Knicks.
He's a
I know.
Sixers fan.
I know.
He knows.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
That was a hell of a series.
that
awesome.
took a year off my life, that series.
Yeah. Later on, you should smoke a cigar, Bobby, and you guys should talk sports, talk Celtics. Yeah, he knows a lot about that stuff.
Hey, you know what, dude? Fuck you. All right, what do you think? I can still enjoy the game without knowing stats.
Or anybody, or how the game
Yeah,
works with
you
the players.
can enjoy a game without getting into it like you.
Did you know that Bobby knows every word to Straight Outta Compton?
I know.
do you?
Yeah.
It's fucking whack.
Yeah.
That
so
is
weird.
Play it.
Put it on again, please.
Play it from the
What?
beginning.
Don't sing
It's
every word.
it's crazy.
Oh, I can't. I know. Thank you, Chris.
He doesn't know every word.
We'll
Fuck,
see.
No.
Say
we'll
colored
see.
for those parts.
I
The listener
can't.
Louis setting you up.
Crazy color motherfucker.
Lou wants me gone. Nah, dude, you're good. Go ahead. I'll black you up.
Crazy colored gentleman from Compton.
Sorry, I need a little more on my. There we go. Compton. Fucking name Ice Cube. From a gang called is with attitude.
Oh,
Got a
God.
sawed
Whoa.
off. With a hard off. With the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you fuck with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out.
What?
For the punk motherfuckers that are showing out. Niggas start to mumble. Wanna rumble. Cause man, cook them in a pot like gumbo. Motherfucking like that. With a gat that's pointed at your ass. Give me smooth. Ain't no telling when I'm down for a jack move.
What?
Gonna keep you dancing with a crime record like Charles Manson. K47
What?
is the tube. Motherfucking fool. Go toe to toe and no make. No knees up. Whoa. That was quick. Oh, hey, cut it off.
Right away.
What?
Wait a minute.
Did I say it?
Right away.
No, you said it early and you said it often.
I did?
Did you not know that you said it right in
You
the
said
beginning?
it three
Right in the
times.
beginning.
Can you beep that out?
It's live.
We're live.
Wait a minute, dude. I don't even know you.
Why? Did I know the song?
That
How
was
do you
crazy.
know that?
I love rap.
What? No, you don't.
Dude,
no,
I-
you don't.
Buddy,
Please tell me we have that forever.
Dude,
Just a very clean
I
Bobby
love-
saying, I love
you
rap.
don't. Every time we've talked about
buddy,
music, you
I
always
love
go to rock.
I love NWA. I love like rap at that era. When it got into mumble, the mumble
I
stuff.
like NWA. I like all that stuff.
I like NWA was my favorite. I like of Dre, Ice Cube.
Those are the people in NWA.
And then when they went off on their solo stuff, when Eazy's and Ice Cube started fighting, I loved that stuff. And then I got into, of course, Eminem. And then I like 50.
What about
50.
Nas? What about Biggie?
Nah,
What about
Biggie, I love. Biggie, I loved. I liked,
Tribe Called Quest? Wu-Tang Clan?
I got into. I like Wu-Tang, but I'm not into it as much. It was a little too.
Did you ever hear Jacob?
Am I getting in trouble?
No. Did you ever hear Jacob? No, Black
Don't
Lou.
put it on social.
Black Lou.
Keep that off Instagram.
Black Lou borderline begged you to say it.
I'm sweating right now.
Not with his
I don't
words,
think
with his
you had no idea
behavior.
you said
You
it.
had no idea. You said it first sentence, first bar. You said it.
I was like, what? You didn't hear me go, whoa.
He was coming straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube from the group named, and you went 40 years.
You went full.
Bobby,
Listen.
you didn't notice everyone go.
Once he put his glasses on, he turned into a different person.
Can I be honest? I thought you guys were impressed.
We were.
No, I was impressed.
But
And a
the
little
first
scared.
verse, we were like, no way.
Dude, I'm sweating right
I'm a
now.
little scared for the show.
I feel
You put your
sweaty.
glasses on and turned into a different person, dude.
Yeah,
that was
man.
wild.
Yeah.
A guy who says the N-word.
Nah, dude, come on.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what you've become now.
Wow.
How great was that, though?
Jacob, why are you moving away from me?
Black Lou said it was okay. He begged you. He said,
Black
no, go
Lou
for
ratted
it.
me out in the beginning of the show. He wants me gone.
Oh, yeah, he's plotting on you. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's like, Bobby, you should try drinking again.
Sending that up the ladder right now.
I mean, listen. Yeah, dude, I love NWO is my favorite. I used to just ride around in my Z28 with the T-tops off.
Nice. Did you have a LeBron on that bitch?
No, I didn't have the LeBron. I couldn't get it.
Did you wear Z Cavaricis?
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
he
did.
did.
Of course
You
I
had Z
did.
Cavaricis?
What are you talking about? Of course I did.
Did you not? You're too young for that.
What?
You're too young for Cavaricis?
It was the older kids had them. Yeah, we were. It was just I just missed it.
I had parachute pants. I had Z Cavaricci's hammer pants. I
I
had
had pleated Hugo Boss pants because they didn't make Cavaricis.
Oh, I remember those. Those were like when. Yeah, those were like.
I was too fat for Cavaricis. They didn't make the Z Cavaricis in my size. So Hugo Boss did the move. They made the pleats and they wrote their name down too.
Down the
so
zipper?
So from a distance, it wouldn't look. It would look like Cavaricis
Fun. It
almost.
sounds like a song. Too fat for Z Cavaricci's.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm waiting for the belts to come back with the metal tips on them, and maybe do the old flip-a-do.
Oh, I did the
Push it
flip
down.
the knot.
Of course,
yeah.
we all
I
did.
remember the
braided
You go-
belt.
The
you go
end
on-
of the belt was metal.
You go
so
underneath.
it hung down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you go underneath and then put it up and through.
Yeah, I had that. I love that belt. I had the Don Johnson suit with the padded shoulder
Shoulders.
pads,
Yeah.
and the creamsicle colors, all the neon colors. The
Dude,
Miami
I'm a
colors.
turtleneck guy. I want turtlenecks
Oh,
back.
I can't do it. I got
Dude,
a
a
fat
turtleneck
neck.
with the chain over it, like The Rock does.
I don't mind that.
Dude, come on, man.
I can't do a
Turtleneck with
turtleneck.
chain.
I feel it makes my
Turtleneck with cologne and a chain over it? Over.
Let me tell you
Fucking
something.
over with, dude.
Let me tell you something. One of my least favorite.
Dracar, remember Dracar? Everybody
yeah.
had Dracar and Cavaricis. That was
like
the.
that. And polo cologne was.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna start going throwbacks. I see them when I go to like.
Oh, look at that! Tell me that doesn't look good, man.
When you're at a grocery store, not a grocery store,
That
like,
looks
like a
like you.
drugstore. When you're like a CVS or something,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get me a little grip of Jupe. I'm gonna get me some Fahrenheit.
fucking
Marshalls.
dude. Fahrenheit, you just brought me back to fucking
I'm gonna
seventh
get me
grade.
some fucking Fahrenheit for sure. I'm gonna go back. There's some goodies that were back in the
How
day.
about,
that-
my favorite was Angel. Remember Angel?
no, I never had any.
Oh, it smelled like chocolate.
I remember the green bottle with the gold top, the Stetson that dads would have.
Angel smelled like chocolate.
Well-
a lot of fat girls would come up to you.
We didn't know because when you bought cologne at like, I always got cologne at like CVS and shit like that, like drugstores, and they did have some of the nicer ones, like, but like everyone can get them nicer ones, like Curve, Cool Water, Nautica. I still
Cool
love.
Water was great.
Love Nautica still, but then they also had like the other ones that you would get when you were young. You're like, well, I got it at the same
Canoe.
place as those. No, I'm talking about like Stetson, Iron. You ever know anybody who had Iron?
What was the one with the old? I had Old English.
Old
with,
English.
with
English.
the
Yep.
wooden knob.
Of course, Christine, bring up. The
Dude, he
one I
brought
just said,
back. He brought me back though with Jupe. Remember, Jupe was like the pinkish.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Jupe was good.
Jupe was nice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
See
Bring
Cavs
up,
with the.
what was it called? Iron cologne. Do you remember that? That was just such a. That was your uncle forgot that you were going to be there for Christmas and fucking ran to CVS and got you.
Yeah.
And most
Yup.
it was the biggest thing was aftershave, and then their cologne was like a little. Yeah, Iron. That's fucking. That is glove compartment cologne
Yep.
if ever there was one.
Yep.
He goes, oh shit, I forgot to spray on cologne. I'll throw an Iron for this, I guess.
My mom gave me my first cologne was a Canoe starter kit. It was 3 different little bottles of Canoe, and it had the little sailboat, a little boat on it and stuff. I loved it. I remember I put it on. I went to school. Some girl was like, "What's that smell?"
I think our generation was like the first young people that were putting on cologne like their dads.
Yeah.
So the problem was when I was young, like all the scents I would go to, and then they started when I was like an older teenager making like, you could tell the Jupes and Dracars and all that stuff were for like the young, like club people. But everything at first I just smelled. I was like, my first colognes ever were like Polo with the, the green, dark green, looked like cough medicine.
Yeah.
Remember,
I remember
remember
that.
Brute?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
That was also green. That was green too.
That was green. That was like a man. That was your dad's.
No, dude, it's
Yeah.
next to a fucking thing of blue liquid for combs.
Yeah.
Smelled like straight rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, Brute was a fucking. I like that one.
Everything's logos was like a foxhound or like a something. It was always like it's like a
Stuff that Jacob still loves.
yeah.
You can get
A
Brit at
shotgun.
Walmart.
Bobby, you like a nice club, dude. You could definitely be talked into being one of the people who bids on Tourists and Hostel For sure. You like it. You feel like it's like, I smoke a cigar with the guys. Then we hunt a girl, confuse tourists. And then we like fucking. I don't know. My dreams. I want to burn her nips off with like a blowtorch. So that's my crazy thing.
And then when she dies, to feel her vagina, see if it's cold or hot.
No, I'm just saying. Aren't you curious if it is though?
Paul goes, what? Sorry, that was from.
That's actually fucking crazy shit you say right there.
You said it,
Dude, it's funny when you come into a show and you don't understand the callback. You just hear some awful sexual shit.
Bobby said earlier that if he worked in a mortuary, that he would want to finger the cadavers to see if they stay warm and
Paul,
wet.
look at me.
You would
Look at me.
never do
Look at
that.
me. Look at me. Look at me, Paul.
What?
No, I didn't say that. Now look at him.
Okay.
Jay can't act on the fly.
What? This isn't appalled?
No.
No. Tell me this is appalled. But I'm going to be subtle.
Better. That was better.
But if I do my,
Dude, you guys know Brett Ernst, right?
Yeah,
of course.
Brett Ernst has a. This is no shit. He has a cologne dealer, so he meets. Dude, no, dude.
Can't swear.
What?
Can't swear.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you just.
You said the N-word 3 times.
Relax. I didn't. NWA did.
No, you put
You
your.
said it once, but with the gusto of 3 times.
I was Ice Cube.
No, he. I was on the phone. with Brett, and he goes.
Sweating.
He goes, Virzi, I gotta go, dude. He goes, my guy's here. And he goes, and he was in a parking lot of the gym. He goes, my guy's here. And I go, what? Dude, I go, dude, I didn't know you smoked weed. He goes, no, I swear to God. He goes, I got an Armenian guy that he meets, and he gets the top of the line. He said, like, Aqua de Gio had a new blackout that he called.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I'm not even joking. And then he's in the car, and he goes, I got 6 in here. And he opened his glove box. He pulled out 6. He's nuts with it.
Oh, with cologne?
Oh, dude, fragrances all over the place.
My favorite one that I've ever had, still that John Barbados Black.
Yeah, that was great. They don't make it anymore. That
Don't make
bottle,
it.
the wicker bottle.
No, I like the.
What was it called?
John Barbados Black.
Good.
Mark Jacob. What's his name, Christine?
Marc Jacobs?
Mark Jacobs cologne. I like that one. I get the guys in New York. They're always popping by the parking lot, and they come up with all the stuff they just stole from Macy's.
How does it work, though? Let me ask you, how does it work that if Gucci, like, why do we assign them good at other things? What was Gucci's first thing? Clothes? Was clothes
it
their
bags?
first
I
thing,
think it
or
was
bags?
Bags, right?
I think it was bags.
Purses.
Purses.
So then it's like they start making like, why is everything now follow the trend of like it's like, that we just trust?
they make, like, Gucci
they
sneakers.
made amazing bags, so it's you
Yeah.
just trust it goes. So they have a $300 cologne, and you're like, well, I should get that cologne. Is it really better than like
Well, there's a company.
$30 cologne? Is it better than iron?
There's a company that just replicate. Like you go to CVS and they have Advil, and then right next to it, CVS Advil. You turn it around, it's the same exact
Identical.
ingredient. And they do this. They can do that with cologne now. So they have companies that will just replicate
Yeah, the fragrance.
the expensive cologne, and it's the same exact thing.
I know that's what my girlfriend got me for Christmas one year.
What?
A dollar store's version of Tommy Hilfiger Sport, and incense and an incense holder and $60 cash.
Why did she give you the cash for what?
She was breaking up with me and wanted the gift I got her, so she got back together with me for a day
Yeah.
and got her gift and then gave me imitation store, dollar stores, an imitation of Tommy Hilfiger Sport, incense and an incense holder. I'd yet to smoke weed at this point in my life yet,
Right.
so I had no need for incense, and $60 cash.
And you didn't live with a witch, so the incense was unneeded.
$60 cash peeled off of a nice fucking wad. She really gave me like, here you go, kiddo. Get yourself a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, get yourself an ice cream.
It's a
and
parting gift.
Some Nintendo.
Oh no, it was PlayStation 1. It was PlayStation 2 had just come out. This is all like with like I was still coming up with Kevin and Keith.
Right.
And she had broke up with me. She started seeing some other guy like that her family loved. It was like a family friend or something.
Well, they didn't love you?
They did not.
Why?
They I think because I was having sex with their young daughter.
Right. You were finger popping her out front?
I think the thing was that I was having her sneak out to have sex with me in the middle of the night, so they probably hated that. But yeah, no, they didn't like me at all. But she broke up with me for this, and then one of the things, the guy she was supposed to, I've told this in the show before a long time ago, but the guy she was supposed to, or that I caught her talking to, like
She
kind
cheated
of
on you
seeing,
with.
yeah. I was like, when I first caught her, she was like, no, I was just talking to that guy. He's helping me get you the PlayStation 2 for Christmas because it's hard to get right now. It's right when it came out. And then I was like, oh, I'm such a bastard. I was so mean to her, accusing her of cheating on me, and now look, she was just trying to get a PlayStation 2.
Bo, this is how I have to get it. I have to blow him
Yeah.
to get this.
So-
I'll do anything for you. I sucked this guy's dick to get you a PlayStation, and you're treating me like this, you fucking piece of shit. I want my cheap cologne back.
And a couple days,
$60.
it was all happening right around Christmas, and a couple days later, she comes to she calls me up and she was like, I made a mistake. We should get back together. And I'm a sad shit, so I was like, right away, absolutely. She goes, I want to come over today and exchange like Christmas presents with you. And I was like, but it's Christmas Eve. Or it's the day before Christmas Eve. And she was like, yeah, well, my family does a lot of stuff for Christmas. And I was like, no, they don't. We've been together for years.
Just
I'm
calling on our lives.
Yeah, I'm like, no. And she goes, no, today's the only day I can really do it, so I'll come over for like an hour or whatever. So I didn't get her a gift because she had broken up with me a week before or something. So I was like, I didn't get her anything. So I ran to a jewelry store.
I thought you were going to say CVS.
No.
Was it
I got her
Steven Singer?
iron.
Did you get her a gold dip rose?
I got her a Brute family pack with this lotion.
You should have got that whore condoms for a new
Yeah,
boyfriend.
no shit. No.
These are for you, new guy. Love you.
Be safe.
Tell him I said thanks for the Sony PlayStation.
If I spent everything I had, I went to the jewelry store and got like $70 to buy like a shit ring. But it was just like something. It was like a birthstone or something. It was nothing like expensive.
We got to take a break.
Well, wait, I got it for her. I'm saying
You
that.
did?
And
Oh,
then
shit.
she came over
Yeah?
and I gave her that. She started crying, getting all sad. And then she's like, well, here, are you ready for your presents? And she just kept telling me to close my eyes. She did not walk in with a PlayStation 2 for sure. That she told me she got me.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of this PlayStation 2, she got me dollar store imitation Tommy Hilfiger Sport Cologne,
Oh, boy.
incense and incense holder, and $60 in cash.
She got you anything she could grab out of her new guy's car. She's like, I didn't get him a present. I give him this shit. Go in my glovey. Take whatever's in there.
Just whatever's just around you. She gave me whatever's in arm reach. Oh, shit.
All right, we got to take a break. The great Paul Virzi's here. He has got a show. He'll be at the Troubadour in Los Angeles this Friday, May 10th, for the Netflix. Is a joke festival. For tickets and all of the tour dates, paulvirzi.com. Saturday night, we're doing a live. Me and him are doing a live bone to pick at the
Red Clay Comedy Festival at the Earl, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. So check that out and check him out, his website. And Big J is going to be at the Summit Comedy Club, Fort Wayne, Indiana, May 17th and the 18th. Irvine Improv, June 7th and 8th. All tickets, tours, bigjcomedy.com.
Ooh, I think in between
Oh, and
it, I
June
have
8th, I'll be at the
one-
Gramercy, New York.
What's that?
Ooh, nice. I said, I think between those 2 weekends, I have 1 weekend off. 2 off? No way, that's true.
All right,
I
here
don't
we
believe
go.
you at all. And again, yes, Robert Kelly, Stamford, Connecticut, Port Charlotte, Florida, St. Louis, Missouri. For tickets and all tour dates, punchup.live/Robert Kelly. We'll be right back with the great Paul Virzi. And I believe, is John Lovitz joining us when we come back? Yeah? Nice. This will be fun. Have you ever met John Lovitz before?
No.
Me either, but Bobby and him have a feud.
No, we don't.
A long-time
Nah,
feud.
you're right. You're crazy.
They do.
Let's
I'm going to
go.
bring up the fact that you want to finger cadavers.
Hey, what's up? I'm BK Burglar, Bob Kelly, a.k.a. The Rooster.
I'm Big J. Okerson. I only have one AKA.
I'm a cowboy.
Look, if you love the Bonfire, which we know you do,
You
this
do.
is just half of the show.
That's
it.
right. This is the podcast version, everybody. So if you want to hear the whole thing, go to SiriusXM.com/bonfire to get the whole thing.
Yeah, you get tons of other entertainment, too. It's not just us. You got other shows that you can go to after you listen to our show. You can go to all kinds of other shows. And you know what? Tell a friend.
But most importantly, this show.
Yeah, this show. Just go to this show.
Do something resembling anything?
We have a great guest in the studio. I mean, unbelievable. I've known you. I've met you before. Jay's never met you. Paul never met you. Mr. John Lovitz is in the studio. What's going on, buddy?
Well, I'm just very happy to be here.
I'm over here.
Oh, there you are.
Thanks. He said that to Jacob.
I'm trying to say it into the mic.
Such a fan for so many years, your movies, the SNL years. Every time I know anybody, the people I know on SNL now are all the young guys. It's a different world now. But I always want to know did you ever get to hook up with a host or any other cast member in your tenure there?
Whoa.
Well, I mean, all the beautiful women that hosted when I was there, they all wanted to sleep with me.
I mean, Jay's out of the
I mean,
gate.
But
geez,
I
the
had
kid
a-
just sat down.
I had a girlfriend, so
The entire time.
yeah, so, you know,
Who was
I
your
just-
girlfriend? Madonna?
no, but, you know, I said, look, I got a girlfriend, so I'll, you know, one time it's fine.
One's plenty.
But then that's it. But they'd be obsessed.
Well, yeah.
No, I never did.
I never even thought about it until.
But of course
Pete
they were
Davidson was
beautiful. I
running
mean,
through.
you know, Sigourney Weaver hosted. I'm like, oh, no. Or one time Jerry Hall hosted. I was like, oh, you know, they're beautiful women, super nice. You know.
Did you have to do like a romantic, you know, comedy scene with them on the show?
No, I did I did kiss on the show Mary Tyler Moore.
Ooh,
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
good one.
That is a great one.
Yeah, that's a
But
good one.
she was the nicest lady, you know.
It's gonna be fun ones. Candace Bergen.
She
Like
hosted
Drunken
when
Night
I
with
was there.
Candace
Yeah,
Bergen.
yeah, I had a crush on her. She was the nice. They're all like so great and
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Was there anybody?
Candace
that
Bergen was like the nicest ever. They're all very nice.
was
you
there
know,
anybody
really
that was a
nice.
dick? That anybody that like?
Nightmare.
Because I talked to Colin's a friend of mine, and there was a couple stories he told me of like certain guests that were like people were like fuck him.
I don't want to say who, but because it just wouldn't be right. But it was a guy. But it was out of all of them, it was just one. When I was there, just one guy, but no one,
Steven Seagal.
nobody like
That was
no,
gonna be
I
my
wasn't
full
there
guess.
then. No, I wasn't there when he hosted.
Steven
Actually, I think I came by off the show, but no, there was one guy, but he was just rude to everybody. You go into costume, and think, oh, I can't stand that guy. I go, what happened? You know, and then another guy, and on and on.
Just a nasty guy to work with.
He was.
Seems
I
like
think
a
he
weird
was.
world to
I
come
think
in.
he was more insecure, so then he acted like that and.
It
He
seems
was
like
like
a weird world to walk in.
there was a
bitter.
cue card guy, and he was like going, "Come on, hey, buddy," you know, and snapping his fingers at him. I'm like, "Excuse me, don't talk to him like that," you know. And you're not supposed to talk to the host like that. But he was so rude that it was like, you know, I go, you don't talk to that guy like that. And it was an old guy in his 60s at the time, which I am now. But it was just so rude.
Yeah.
But otherwise, everybody was very, very nice. I liked them all.
So when you're doing, I've always wanted to ask this question.
Well, apparently you're going to. So this is your little dream come true. You're welcome. You've always wanted to ask this for how many years now?
3.
Okay, go
It's
ahead.
it's on his vision board. I've seen it.
Well, if I
I've-
can answer honestly, I will.
I've manifested this moment. I sit at home. No, I want when you're doing the scene, and they have the cue cards, and they're changing that stuff right up. Where are you? Are you supposed to look at the actor, or are you supposed to look at the cue card? What's the?
Oh, well, I can tell you a story. So I'd never used cue cards. So my very first show, Madonna's hosting it, and Penny Marshall was hanging out. The first thing I ever did on the show was with Madonna, and she was there for 2 weeks. She worked her butt off, by the way. Anyway, it was a short film. We're in Central Park, and I met Penny Marshall. She's friends with Lorne. So she befriended me. So then I do the first show. So I'd never used cue cards. So I thought I could like look at them really quick and then look back and you wouldn't notice.
Right.
So anyway, so the next day Penny calls me. She goes, learn your lines. I go, why? She goes, I go, you can see me looking at the cards? Yes, your eyes are darting. I go, oh, I thought I could beat it. And I watched the show and my eyes like this, like darting back and forth. So I would always learn my lines for a sketch. And then, but if it's right to camera, they can hold the cue cards right underneath. So it looks like it doesn't,
Right.
whether you know it or not, it looks the same. So you have to know it, but you don't have to memorize it. But I would learn my lines. But what happens is, after dress rehearsal, they'll do like from 8 to 10, they'll do like 14 sketches and they'll cut 6, which is like an hour. So you go in at 10:30, they go, everyone goes into Lauren's office. It's just like this little office and you're packed. And then there's a bulletin board and you see what's left in the show and what was cut. And usually my stuff would be in, to be honest. And then, but it would be in a different order. So I would just write the order. I would take notes because I couldn't remember all the notes. He's like giving millions of notes, and I would write it down. And then it's an exciting show to do. It's live, so you'd have you'd have every actor. You'd have your own like a dresser to help you get in and out of costume, and your own makeup person. So you'd look at the new order, and you'd get together with them and say, okay, where do we have to go? Because a lot of times you'd have 2 minutes between a sketch, so you'd have to change underneath the rafters, underneath the people, like they're above you, and you're changing completely. So I'd say to them, look, I don't know what's going to be next. So just after the sketch is over, just like I'll come off stage and then grab me and just tell me what's next. So I go, because I'm not going to remember. I'm like into this. So they'd grab me. They go, okay, we're going over here to change this. You have 2 minutes. It's this sketch. Okay. And then I would look at my notes. And so that's what I would do. A lot of people, they didn't rehearse. They didn't learn their lines. And even if they had one line, they wouldn't learn it, which I think is bad.
Yeah.
Well, I think that era, it's changed now. That almost like the peek behind the curtain, like with wrestling, everyone knows now that, still Saturday Night Live uses the handwritten cue cards, and that's sort of a thing now where I don't think they shy away from just staring at the cards and just reading the whole show, because in what I thought was like the prime era to me, and everyone always says it's always when you were a kid. Whenever you were a kid is what the prime time, and you were a part of that.
Yeah.
And the Dana Carvey and Phil Hartman years and everything. And I felt like you were watching a well-rehearsed play, like every time. Like no, everyone knew their lines, like the recurring characters.
Well,
and stuff.
If you were on Update, it was right there, but you knew it. Then if it was like, one sketch, Phil and I wrote One More Mission, and I'm like it's really fast talking, like a spoof of 40 movies, and I'm the head of a studio, and he's this actor who's nuts. So we rehearsed it a lot. So you couldn't do that sketch if you didn't know it. But you know who was great at using cue cards was Dabney Coleman, was like genius. So there was a sketch where he's a Boy Scout leader, and we're all Boy Scouts sitting around a campfire, and the sketch was like, tell us a scary story. It goes, he goes, all right, you want to hear a scary story? I'll tell you. There's a man, he had this wife. And it's a story about his divorce, and she took half his stuff.
It scares Jay.
And he had to go move into this little apartment.
Christine's smiling right now.
You never broke.
But he had the card. So we're in a semicircle. So Dabney Coleman goes, all right, I want one card here, one card above, one card low, one card here. So it looks like he's looking at us, but he's looking up and down. It was like, and you can't tell. And I'm like, oh, this is brilliant. But of course, he had so much experience. So that's one way to do it where you can't tell.
But back then, when you did the show too, now it seems like
Wait a minute.
What?
You have another question?
I do, and I've been waiting. I've been waiting
5 years.
a day for this one.
Oh.
But you're not supposed to break character. You're
That's
not
what I was
supposed to
gonna
laugh,
say, yeah.
and it seems
No.
like now that's gone.
You never did. I
No.
never saw you break.
No.
We weren't allowed to first. Well, first of all, I was an acting major in college, and it's called breaking character. And they go, don't do it if you're doing a play. If you do it, it takes everybody out of the play and the audience out, and it's over. And when I was in the show, Lauren goes, don't break character. We're not the Carol Burnett show. Because they would,
Yeah.
and those guys were great on the Carol Burnett show, but they
Right.
would try to make each other laugh, and
It was a Harvey Korman.
and it wasn't live,
Tim.
so they could have redone it, but they would leave it in. So we weren't allowed to. Like I thought, if we break, you're going to get fired. And I think it can if it happens once in a while, but it just takes you out of the sketch. So the sketch is over, and now you're just looking at somebody laughing.
Well, Ryan
and
Gosling,
the whole story of it. Yeah, I saw the Beavis and Butthead.
but it was
Everybody-
everyone. I love Ryan. I love him. He's great. I think he's hilarious. But every sketch he broke and was breaking other people. It was like they were just giggling in between the whole thing.
Yeah,
it
so-
does take.
You think
out
they
of
do
it,
it sometimes for the crowd to get
No, I think I don't know the guy, but the guy is a great actor. I mean, he's
Oh,
great.
he is great.
And I think he's genuinely laughing. He can't help it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it takes you out of the sketch. I mean, Jimmy Fallon, I love Jimmy, but he would do it all the time.
Yeah,
and
he
now
would,
that sketch it's about him laughing and everyone trying not to laugh.
It's funny. I like it once in a while when it happens. Like, when it
It's a little
really.
infectious
a little
sometimes when it feels
infectious.
genuine.
But then, when it happens over, like every sketch, it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, you guys are all stand-ups, right? So if you tell a joke and then you start laughing, and the audience is really laughing, if you're going, and you start laughing, they stop. It takes them right out of it. It's like you suck the laugh out of them.
Yeah.
You anyway. You really suck it out of them.
I mean,
I'm saying
What a laugh sucker this guy could be.
you apparently have a reputation. I mean, I don't know. I've never met you. But you know what I mean?
First of all, we've met.
Yeah, I know. Where? I'm just testing you.
I'm testing you back.
You had hair at the time.
I did not.
Damn it. I thought that was a good
I
guess.
did not.
He had a backwards Kangol hat.
Where did we meet?
One check against you. Back on you. We met in Hollywood years ago.
That's vague.
Yeah, that narrows it down,
All
Bobby.
right, 2009.
Well, I was. Yes, times were tough then. I had to make money somehow. Yeah, I met at where I don't.
I met you at, I believe, Bobby Slayton's house.
Oh. Dinner? Well, yeah, Bobby's your friends with Bobby then.
No, I didn't know Bobby either. I did a little bit, but I was over Bobby's house and it was weird because he had just got a new pool, and he was like, "Jump in, get in," and I didn't want to swim, but he was like, "Get in, try it," and I was like, "Okay," and it was just me swimming
Alone?
Yeah, like
You just want to observe you swim?
like nobody else jumped in.
I love
It
how
was
this
just-
memory stuck with Bobby a lot more than
It was just
with
me
John.
swimming in Bobby Slayton's
I feel like John would remember the time that one guy was just swimming in a pool at Bobby Slayton's
No, I
house.
don't remember. Well, don't take it personally because I've talked to a lot of people. In fact, Bobby, I just talked to him today. He's getting back into stand up. He kind of quit. He's getting back and doing shows and flappers. But I said, after that vaccine, I go, my memory, or I got COVID twice, but like there'll be a word in my head and then it disappears. And he goes, that happens to me. That happens to my girlfriend. And I never had a problem with my memory. I remembered everything. And then all of a sudden I go, you remember the guy, oh, crap. And then I picture him. It happened to me driving down the street. I know where he lives. And I go, oh, there's, and it was Bobby Slayton. I couldn't remember his name. I'm not senile. Clearly, how did I show up on time for this?
That is proof positive.
Yeah, but don't.
So you're saying the vaccine is...
saying don't take it personal.
No.
I don't know if it's or COVID, but people I
agree.
they never had problem with their memory.
I have a problem now. It's wacky how weird my memory is now. I forget stuff mid thought. I'd be like, what
Did
was
you
I
get
thinking?
COVID?
Did you take a booster?
I had COVID right when it came out, and I didn't know what it was, but I got.
Always
then I had
ahead
the
of the curve,
Then I
Bobby.
am always
Well, do you ever
iPhone
think of a
1,
word?
COVID 1.
Twitter.
A word and it's right there, and all of a sudden it just disappears. And you go and you go, what's her name? Mom. No, but it happens a lot.
Yeah, I smoke a
It's
lot
less.
of pot, so I think it does happen to me. But I don't know if I ever. Isn't it weird? All the time, I've tested for COVID a bazillion times. I've never tested positive for it.
I had it right away, and then I tested. I had the antibodies too.
I had it the week of.
Yeah,
I had it.
I had it before they even knew what it was COVID.
Yeah, I had no smell, taste.
Yeah.
I was watching for our least healthy friends to get it and survive it, and then go, "Okay, I'll be okay." now."
Yeah, I was one of those.
I was doing stand up at the Laugh Factory, and a comic got it. So Harry Basil runs it, and I said, we better get tested. I mean, because the next day I go, where is he? He goes, he has COVID. I go, he was just here last night with all of us. So I went to get tested. I I tested negative. And then 2 days later I go, oh, listen, the idiot that tested me, he was sweating. And then you go, of course you're going to get it there because there's all these
Everybody's
people
there.
thinking maybe they have it and you're in a room with them, and that's where you get it.
Well, here's the thing too. As comics,
And I had it bad.
We're getting it because of the microphone. They don't wash the microphone. Like that mic has been.
I think for a while
like
the clubs
fit-
gave you an option though, like right in the green room before you go on. It was like, if you want to put one of the
They had a
little dust,
mic
like
condom.
the mic condoms and the.
Well, the cellar had they had a bucket of new mics and a bucket of used mics, and you would just you would have your mic. But I think they should do that all the time. I actually was at the cellar one night, and I was doing a joke where I go like that, and I sucked a piece of meat out of the microphone
What the fuck?
into my mouth, and I went and I spit it
Why would
into a
you-
lady's eye
Well,
in the
come
front row.
on. You're used to that.
It is my thing. It's my
You were like-
closer.
that's why you did the joke.
I
You're like,
sucked. Do you hear what you just said?
Yeah.
What kind of a show is this? And I sucked some meat into my mouth.
Yeah, who was on before?
I
you?
don't care about your private life, please. Oh,
John, do you
meat.
You have such a suck meat off the
What's
microphone.
the meat doing on the mic?
Yeah, the comedy show. They had shawarma.
Oh my God, it's disgusting.
It was gross.
You're a
Do
little
you-
bit of a spitter, though.
What?
You spit a little bit when you talk. Like,
Whoa, what the fuck is that? Who
I'm sa-
says that?
no, I'm saying you when you sometimes when you talk
Fight,
and project,
fight.
you spit.
Yeah, but what are you saying it for right now?
Yeah, what are you saying?
He
Fight,
wants to humiliate
fight.
you in front of John Lovitz.
No, I'm saying that's why the.
What do you think he's going to take you as under his wing?
No.
I'm your friend. He can't remember. He's not going to remember you after the show.
He actually he might remember a story. I sent you a MySpace message. No, this is true.
Was that you?
You're gonna remember
You
this.
did?
When you were on MySpace. But this is actually a true story. All jokes aside, you were on
this is
MySpace
20 years ago.
and you were on and you just started doing stand up. You just started. And I sent you a message saying I think it's really ballsy that you're getting into stand up now, everything. And you sent me a message back saying thank you, Paul. That's a true story. You remember that way more than Bobby Slayton's pool, right?
Yes.
See?
You didn't compliment me. He did.
John, you may not recall this. Me, you,
This is like
David Spade were on a hot air balloon ride.
Oh, that was like
Interstate.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, that was before COVID. I remember that.
I wanted to ask you about.
Three of you might not remember this, but when you got this show, you said, "John, you're our inspiration, and we will be sharing any money we make with you."
Yes, I do recall that handshake agreement.
I
Check.
do have the envelope for you that you
Yeah.
requested.
Do you feel, John, you still feel a online like cult following to the critic at all? Because that was like so.
Oh yeah, everyone. But I believe me, I would love to do it again, and I've been trying for
I
years.
was going to
and
say, would they revive it at all?
That's not going to happen. I don't think. I've tried. Believe me,
Is it a Comedy Central?
I don't
property?
own it.
I
No,
was
it was
gonna
at Sony, and then anyway, there's the writer. It's up to Jim Brooks, and he doesn't want to do it basically. And,
Gotcha. I love that
and
show.
Al Jean and Mike Reese wrote it. You know, that show should have been on. It was on ABC for 7 shows, and they canceled it. So then it went to Fox the next year, right after The Simpsons. And then and The Simpsons was at its peak then. It was like a 14 share rating, which is 14 million households. And then the critic followed it and kept 90% of the audience, 11.1. You know, The Tonight Show now doesn't even get a 1.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Yeah.
gets a 1. This was 11. So, and then they canceled it anyway, and they never knew why. And Mike Reese and Al Jean wrote the show, and Mike said, "I quit show business. I give up. But what do you have to do? I wrote a show. It's a hit, and they canceled. You know." And Al still, been at The Simpsons, the head guy forever, but he says it's I just last week I said, "Come on, let's do it. It's complicated." All right.
Do you feel? Do
Yes.
people bring up like when you do shows? I bet people bring like the DVDs to sign and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's such a
yeah.
cult following. People love that cartoon.
I know. I haven't seen it in years, and then I watched some clips, and it's hilarious. It's way funnier than I remembered it. I mean, I thought it was funny, but it's like hilarious.
Also, you were on Dr. Katz before, weren't you?
No,
Did they never do you on
no.
Dr. Katz?
No, I know. You Jews all look alike.
Yeah.
No,
He did-
no.
he did say
was
that before you came
different.
in.
That was a K-A-T-Z. I'm L-O-V-I-T-Z.
That was his
No, but that was I was
Jay's first album.
People would confuse. They were out at the same time, so people.
Oh no,
would
I didn't confuse the
it.
show. I just know if because you were the main character of the critic. I mean, but everyone played themselves on Dr. Katz. I know they had a bunch of comics.
No, I
and
was
stuff
never on
that.
Dr. Katz. I don't.
Good one, Jay. Anyway,
Why would they,
I asked if he
why would
was
they
on
cancel
Dr.
the show if it was getting that much of a rating though? Like if it was doing that well.
They have no idea why. And the head of the network, they were so angry, and he never gave a reason.
Wow.
And so, they did a couple years ago a show at the Hollywood Bowl, the music of the Simpsons, and so at the end of the show, and I got to be in it, which was great. But anyway, at the end of it, on the monitor, they had a big scroll of everyone that ever had anything to do with the Simpsons and all the heads of the networks, and they left this guy's name off.
Really?
They're so
something-
mad.
yeah.
Never found out why, and they tried to guess why, but they never. I remember at the time I said to Jim Brooks, I said, "Did you say anything?" He said, "Yes." I go, "What did you say to the guy?" I said, what are you doing? It's a hit. You're canceling a hit. It's a hit. I mean, Jim Brooks would know, better than anybody. He did the Mary Tyler Moore Show, he did Taxi, he did The Simpsons. I mean, that guy knows TV and what's a hit. And he goes, it's a hit. What are you doing?
And they just got rid of yeah.
Can
It's
you
amazing.
explain
It's just
what the
two
show
personal
is?
people.
Like, people don't know what the show is.
He's a movie critic.
Right.
It was just him living his life.
That
Just
was
a
it?
funny written cartoon.
Well, it
yeah.
was a little more than that, for God's
I mean,
Can you explain what the show
Well,
is?
at the
It's very
time,
funny.
it was in the 90s, the movie critics like Siskel and Ebert had tremendous power over if they liked a movie or not. They're on TV, and if they didn't like it, the movie could be a bomb, and if they liked it, it could be a hit. And there was other TV critics. They had huge power. So they wrote a cartoon. They wrote it for me where I play a critic in New York, and I have a family, but I'm Jewish, but my parents are like white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. I was adopted, and I'm single. I have a son, and on the show, every movie I see, I go, it stinks. I didn't like anything, and they would do satires of movies that were out then, and so Maurice LaMarche is a stand-up and voice actor, and he would do a lot of the celebrity voices, almost all. He was great at it, and so they would do they go, now here's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and playing as a rabbi PI playing Hasidic Jew, and I would go Jew, I'd go Jew, and then they would draw it with the mouth going like ew, and it was very funny.
that's great. Sitting in
He's
the
like
director's
Hava
chair.
Nagila. Yeah, and they see Arnold dressed as a Hasidic Jew, cartoon of Payas. He's like Hava Nagila, baby, boom, and I mean, it was just spoof of all that stuff.
So fun.
But a lot of times they wanted to do stuff, and I go, that's too far, because I was making movies then too, and I said, like, certain actors, I go, I can't do that. I go, I'm going to work with the guy. You can't, and it's not true, I go, what are you doing? Like, make fun of people that are jerks, not fun of people that are like nice and this, and I go, and I might be working. I knew a lot of them, and I was friends with a lot of them.
It is different when you have to answer to the people.
Right, and they're like, oh, I go, I'm sorry, the guy's a good friend of mine. He's a nice guy, and what are you doing,
What do you feel now doing stand-up? Do you have a preference for either, whether it be sketch, acting, or stand-up that kind of gives you the rush that you're looking for with performing?
Well, they're different, but I mean, you do stand-up. I always say you're the whole joke. You write it and you get to perform it, and you're the lead, and you can do whatever you want, and and
no one can mess
it's
up with you.
endlessly creative. Yeah, and so I love doing it. I mean, it's you have a big parts. Where in movies, it's not as big. But sketches, Saturday Night Live is still the most exciting thing. Live television, I mean, it's electric. When
you think, though, do you think in sketch layout, or now like kind of like in presenting to an audience like stand-up?
No, it's different. It's different. It's not a sketch.
Yeah.
No, I know the difference.
Do you even know the difference?
Why would you ask that question?
I don't even know who I am. No,
It was a
yeah.
good question.
No, well, sketch, you're doing a character. Stand-up, it's like, I mean, you can do it. Some guys do, characters on stage, but when I started, I go, well, who am I going to be on stage? And I go, well, I'll be, the way I am on talk shows, like me, but funny. And Dana Carvey, great stand-up, he's one of my best friends. He helped me a lot. He goes, just have fun and do a short setup, and then do a lot of jokes. Don't do like some actors or comedians, they'll do like a 2 or 3 minute setup, one joke, then they switch topics. And he goes, it's a recipe for exhausting the audience. So do it like you go, as short as you can. So you go, women. And that's your whole set. That's all you have to say, And then you just do a bunch of jokes on that topic, and then. But it's evolved. I've been doing it for 20 years now, but it took me 20 years to get the guts to start doing it.
You started late, though. You started after all your stuff. What made you want to get into stand-up?
Well, I
think it was my MySpace.
The movie
message.
Lenny, the first movie. When I was 13, I saw Woody Allen's first movie, Take the Money and Run, and then 3 years later, I saw Dustin Hoffman in the movie Lenny as Lenny Bruce, a great stand-up. So I said, Dustin was so great. I go, I want to hear the real guy. I'd never heard of Lenny Bruce, so I went to the record store, and when they had record stores, and they had a comedy section, and it was like nothing. It was like maybe 9 inches. It was hardly anybody. But I saw Woody Allen had been a stand-up, so I got his album and Lenny Bruce, and I would learn their routines, and I would perform them in my college dorm. So after college, I was a drama major at UC Irvine. I go, I want to be a stand-up. It's a good way to get in. and a guy teaching a free workshop at the Comedy Store. He goes, well, if you want to be a stand-up to get into television, don't. They're not hiring stand-ups. And I'm like, they're not? No. And I go, and then he kept talking, and I raised my hand. He goes, yes. I go, well, what do you mean they're not hiring stand-ups? You guys are funny. You'd think they would. He goes, yeah, well, you'd think they would, but they don't. Well, they weren't hiring him. Of course they were hiring stand-ups. That's what Robin Williams had just more. It was 79, but broke out.
That comic was Rich Voss.
No,
They're not hiring anybody. It's a dead end business.
Yeah, that's all they were doing then was hiring stand-ups for Robin Williams had just hit huge and Mork and Mindy and this one and on and on. So I go, I guess I was wrong. I'll skip that step. And then I didn't. And then I got to anyway, I got Saturday Night Live and Dennis Miller. I met Dennis. We became friends. He goes, you could be a stand-up, like Kevin Meaney, God bless him. He was not like me, but Kevin was really funny and silly. Sure. So he brought me to the club, Catch a Rising Star. So I get up, and they go, John Lovitz, and the crowd's like, yay. They knew. And then I didn't know what I was doing. I did, on stage 5 minutes. They go, John Lovitz, and you hear the sound of one hand clapping. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I guess you really got to know what you're doing.
Jokes.
I had no idea. Yeah, and then I would try it over the years, and they had the Aspen Comedy Festival. It was like 95 or something. So I knew the guys that ran the Improv, and I was friends with Bud Friedman. It was a midnight show of all the hottest new comics then. They were all known. But the manager of the Improv was there. He goes, John, you want to get up? I go, all right. So I had 15 minutes of material. So I did it, and I did really well. And Bud Friedman rushed up. He goes, you're a stand-up. I go, I don't know. I just didn't have the confidence. And then when I was 46, I said to my agent manager, I hadn't worked in 7 years. I go, can you guys get me work? I go, I'm not broke, but I'm going to run out of money in 5 years. And then my manager and agent said, why don't you sell your house?
Jeez.
So
how is that an option? What about
I was thinking about a booking.
maybe an audition?
Yeah.
I think they're buying. I think they're buying blood.
Yeah.
So I said, what?
You got a kidney?
Yeah, that's
So I
great.
said to my manager, I go, you're building a mansion, and my agent, I go, you just bought one. I go, but I should So I was
and they're
so
like, it's not for you.
angry. No, but I learned. I go, well, okay, so they're going to do nothing. So if I'm going to go broke, I got to learn something new. And I knew stand up. I would sell tickets, but I got to learn how to do it. So I thought, I'm going to learn how to be a stand-up and then fire both of them. So I went down to the Laugh Factory because my agent ironically said, Jamie Masato runs Laugh Factory. He'll put you on. So I went down there, and I go, Jamie, all right, I knew him. I go, all right, I want to do stand-up. He goes, okay, buddy, you're up next. I'm like, next? And I was so scared. My heart was pounding in my chest. He goes, yeah, but you did live TV. Isn't that I go, no, this is different. You're up there by yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's, you watch it, and a guy does great. It looks, I could do that. It's so easy. And then you get up, and then you're like, wait, where's you're looking behind you. Where's the, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
And then they're just staring at you. And then you tell a joke, and they laugh, and then they stop. And you're like, that's what it's, and you're like, oh, another one? Yes. Oh. Yeah. And then you do, right in the beginning, you're like, you don't, so you have a lot, well, you guys know, it's there's a lot to learn how to use the mic, who am I on stage, how do you keep the pace going, when this, and you don't start off with an hour, you have a minute or 5, and then, anyway, but I stuck it out, and
So
Dane Cook was there and very supportive. Dane told me about MySpace. Is when I go, what's MySpace? Well, it's this new thing, and Ralphie May was there, and they were both very supportive.
That's maybe where you knew Bobby from Dane Cook's Tourgasm. That was Bobby, Gary Goldman, and Jay Davis were the other comics on the HBO.
Yeah,
Dane
I mean,
Cook
Bobby
tour.
Slayton's one of the best stand-ups ever. And you go do that. Or I'd watch Dennis Miller or Dana Carvey. I go, and they were amazing. I go, I can't do that.
Dana Carvey's Chopping Broccoli, the stand-up, not on the show. I know he did it on the show when Sigourney Weaver hosted, but when he did it in his stand-up special, the Chopping Broccoli, dude.
It was the first viral comedy clip that I remember where people got to watch this.
Well, the things he said, the little nuances. He's like, they always look like they're going to
special,
throw up.
right?
Yeah, he goes, they always look like they're going to throw up, and then they look like they're thinking about it on the fly. But just the way he did it was so brilliant.
It's great.
He got me with
brilliant.
my favorite was when he was doing the guitar. Usually a comic pulls out a guitar, you're like, Christ. Yeah. And then Dana Carvey
Joe
put out the guitar. Dana Carvey put out the guitar, and he goes, but being mad at the microphone, The rock star, he just starts playing like a one line. He comes up and he goes, "She said, motherfuck you." He just walks away. So goddamn funny. So you auditioned for SNL
Yeah, and I was on
through improv.
Yeah, I was in the Growlings Theater. But when I got to New York, I met everybody. And Robin Williams, I'd met him when I was in college.
Wow.
9 months before
he popped.
Mork and Mindy. I was doing a sketch for Solar Energy Day. And then he was on after, but no one knew who he was. It was before Mork and Mindy. And he goes, "Come here." I go, yeah. He goes, "Can you introduce me?" I go, "Sure. What do you want me to say?" He goes, "Just say this is the first stand-up comedian from Russia in America, Nikki Lennon." I go, "Okay." So they go, "All right, now the next first stand-up from Russia, please welcome Nikki Lennon." And then, of course, he was hysterical. And then... So I said, "God, you're so funny." I go, "Did you see my sketch?" He said, "Yeah." I go, "Well, do you have any advice?" He goes, "Yeah, at first you imitate other people, but then you find your own way." And I said, "Oh, let me ask you something, because this is what happened to me in college. So people always say, 'Why aren't you never serious?'" He goes, Yeah. I go, "Yeah, me too. What should I say?" "Oh, just say, 'Why are you never funny?'" And then I remember seeing him at the Comedy Store, and I go, "Oh, man, I met you at Irvine." He goes, "Yeah, I can ask you." So I said, "Can I ask you for some advice?" He goes, "Yeah, after the show." But I was too nervous, And then he hosted SNL, and so I said, "You think I could be a stand-up?" He goes, "Yeah." And then I became friends with Eddie Murphy, and I said, "You think?" I met him at this restaurant, and he goes, "You want to hang out with me?" I go, "I think I could be a stand-up?" "Yes." And then Dennis Miller said, he brought it up to me, and Dana goes, "Yes, you are a stand-up. You don't even realize it." I go, "Like what?" He goes, "That." And I go, "I don't know what you mean." He goes, "There, you did it again." I go, "Oh, me when I get like a little attitude?" He goes, "Yes." I go, I don't know.
Dennis Miller.
And then I
Miller's
realized,
a lot of people's stories like a helpful. Like Dennis Miller has been very like David Spade speaks very highly of like.
Well,
Dennis
I
Miller
remember. I think it was. Oh, Dana brought me to see David Spade. The first time I saw him was years ago. Of course, he was unknown. And Dana goes, "How do you see this guy, David Spade?" He's like, he really looks up to like Dennis and I. And I remember seeing him. I go, "Yeah, he's like a total mix of you and Dennis,
Yeah, I never even
But then
thought
he
of that,
became his own thing. Not now, he's not. But in
No, but I said the initial like yeah.
Oh yeah, and so I mean, the idea was like that overcoming that fear to get on stage, and I thought, well, if I don't do this, I'm going to be broke again. And I grew up very nice, and I'm not crying poor. My dad was a very successful doctor. But he goes, after college, you're on your own. Okay. I didn't know what it meant, and thank God he did it. So I made $5 an hour at these crap jobs, and I thanked him. When I finally made it, I go, "I can't thank you enough." He goes, "What?" I go, "You didn't give me any money. Do you realize what you did?" He's like, "No." I go, "You forced me to make something of myself." "Oh my God, it's the best feeling in the world. You didn't give me any money. That's the best gift you could have given me. Nothing." And he goes, "What?" He was like confused. I go, "Don't you get it?" I go, "Oh my God," because that's what it takes, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have anything, you go, "Oh shit."
I'm gonna cancel my kid's birthday.
You can't be
right now.
You can't be comfortable.
No, it's scary.
It's scary, yeah.
And then I realized, I said 10% of the people that come to New York and LA to be actors. I mean, of 100%, your competition is 10%. The rest of them, they just, an acting class. "Yeah, man, they're at Starbucks. I don't know if I want to be famous." "Oh yeah, it's up to you." I mean, what idiots. They don't do anything. I make fun of them. I go, "What are you doing for your career? Are you doing any acting class?" "No, man. You know what? You either got it or you don't." "Or are you doing any plays?" "No, man. This town is film." I go, "Well, so what are you doing for your acting career?" "I'm doing it. I'm at Starbucks. I'm drinking my latte and I'm brooding." I go, "All right, good luck to you, you
I understand
delusional
that
fuck."
That's
idiot.
how, but it's the defense mechanism how you get through. You go, "I don't think comedy really is supposed to be happening in arenas." It's just, he goes, "It's not really where comedy's supposed to be. Comedy's comedy clubs,
It
like the
needs to
things
be
I can
intimate.
do."
It needs to be intimate.
200 seats or less, half full, with a curtain.
That's where you really get your chops.
Well, Joe Coy used to open for me when he was starting Laugh Factory, and I had him open for me as a stand-up. Let's just make that clear, Mr. Sucks the meat off of Mike. So, and now he's playing arenas, and I go, "How do you do? You have to wait for the timing." And I remember Dane Cook was doing it. He goes, "Yeah, there's a delay." And then Bill Burr does it, and I said, "Is there like, do you have to do different time? He goes, no, there's no delay anymore. So I was just at the Hollywood Bowl, and it's like instant. I go, oh, so it's the same. It's just more, and it's exciting.
Nah, dude, I got rid of the delay, dude. Fuck the delay. I don't do that.
No, but isn't it amazing? Like stand up, they're like rock stars. Russell Peters did it. It used to be Steve Martin was the first. He was playing stadiums, and then he was, I think, got exhausted. He stopped. Then Andrew Dice Clay 20 years later, and then he did it for 5 years, and then he said he got like exhausted, and so he did it.
But
and
some
then,
of us are
and
still
then
jazz singers.
Dane Cook, and then it's like Russell and Joe Coy and Bill Burr and I think Sebastian Maniscalco, and there's about 8 guys.
Burr Kreischer,
like
Tom
20
Segura, Joe Rogan.
What about you?
Well,
Nate Bargatze.
I'm more of a jazz
Shane Gillis.
quintet. I play smaller places.
There's like
Well,
25
the
guys.
three of
doing
you
really
have
good.
this show. I mean, I'm sure you go
No,
on
we
tour
do
together. And
we do well. We do. Me and Joe, we all do theaters and small theaters and clubs, and we have a great fan base. But it is wild. I think that the places that bands AC/DC used to play is now just a comic going in with a bunch of other comics.
I mean, it's unreal. Joe Coy posts he's on his private jet. And he's going all over the world. I go. It's unbelievable. I go, how did you go? He was selling out clubs, After he opened for him about a year and a half, and then he got so good. I go, Joe, I can't follow you anymore. You should be headlining. You're at that level, and that was like 15 years ago or more, or 6. So I said, how did you start doing arenas? Because he'd play the Improv, he'd sell out 16 shows, which is unheard of.
It's finding your audience.
So he said, well, I wanted to do a special, and Netflix said no, so I financed my own special, and then they bought it,
Yeah. Which is what a lot of people, and that's kind of the new normal now.
Yeah, but isn't YouTube now the way people do specials?
now
People on
it's-
YouTube are selling tickets. It's
Well, it's that's kind of dying now too. I mean, you put your
Saturation.
special, you put your special out there for free, and then you got all the fans and people watch it. But now I think there was 52 specials released
Netflix
last month or something like that.
Netflix does 52 a year, plus all the other ones that come out on Prime, all the other ones that come out on YouTube too.
Well, back in the day, there was a certain amount of comics that did specials. Now, there's an hour special if somebody started like a year ago.
It was
Bobby
just
interests you in
HBO,
his new
isn't
company, PunchUp.live. Bobby's ground level investor in.
It's a great company.
We have
He
to.
doesn't like it.
We have to
No,
let
I don't
Mr.
know.
We have to let Mr. Lovitz go here in a second. We have to
No, I don't have anywhere to go.
because when they're making us. Our show has to take a break.
Yeah, well,
I
I'm
talk
not-
to you all day.
I'm
But
not-
stand in. I say, yeah,
I'm not
occupy.
leaving.
Occupy serious.
John,
I'm not leaving till
Where'd
you
you
go
get that?
get out.
He goes, get me. That would be so funny. When the mics went off, John Lovitz just wouldn't. He's like, get me out. They wouldn't remove him. No, he didn't give us any play. John, what do you want to plug?
Yeah,
What do
what
you
do
got?
you
Where can
got? What do
people
you got
find
coming
you?
up?
Oh, what do I want to?
Yeah, what do you got, John? You got a website? You got a MySpace? Paul's on your MySpace still.
Well, I'm on Twitter at Real John Lovitz, and I'm on Instagram John_Lovitz.
There you go, right there.
And then,
You got any dates coming up?
yeah, I'm going to be in Arkansas. I have dates in the future. I'm mostly doing the improv.
You fucking
Grove
make me
Comedy Club. You know what's crazy? If you go up on Instagram, I did a thing like you never know it's going to hit, right? So I play tennis all the time, like every day. Clearly, I don't like to run after the ball. Anyway, and I did this thing, my tennis, and he goes, you should record that. So it was just off the cuff, and I recorded it, and I got 2.1 million views. Yeah. Oh, I'm announcing soon. I'm doing a podcast with Charlotte McKinney from, Joe Dirt calls you. That's the picture. We're going to be doing a podcast, so you can look for that. But
beautiful.
But here, if you keep going up, I'll show you this thing I did. Can you play stuff from there?
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, keep going. It was just off the cuff. I did Stallone's show. A little break. Keep
There's a
going. Keep going. Is this Instagram?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, where is it? Oh, I think maybe that's my dog. Where the hell is it?
We go with time, Lou?
Oh, wait, it's down lower. No. Well, look at that sign. I was in Seattle. Look at that homeless guy's sign.
Need to fuck a bitch. Need money to fuck a bitch.
You need the money.
Well,
I like when they lay it out.
Well,
We all
wait,
need
go
to
back
fuck
the other way. I didn't see it. I'm wearing I'm sitting in a tennis clothes. Let's see. That's me on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
I mean, this,
These are crazy pictures.
we
My
do have
friend
to
said
take a
I'm a
break at
penguin.
some point, John.
No, there it is on the right. There it is on the left in the blue shirt.
Oh, there you go.
This was spur of the moment.
Talking with my tennis teacher about aging, and I realized with age comes confidence. For example, a half hour ago, I shit my pants. I have yet to wipe because I'm confident that eventually it will dry out and cake off.
Make sure you go
I
see
was
him.
talking with my tennis.
2.1
That's the world we live in today. That's
2.1 million Jews. I'm like, are you kidding?
You're gonna fill a theater with that clip. Jesus.
It was the most ridiculous
Dana
thing.
Carvey was right. Get right to the point.
Don't dilly-dally.
You're
Don't
just
dilly-dally.
You're all jealous. You didn't think of it.
The great John Lovitz hanging out with everybody, and Paul Virzi.
He's at the Troubadour.
Troubadour.
10th.
Friday night, 10 o'clock. This Friday, Troubadour. And June 8th, Gramercy Theater, man. Check that out.
Punchup.live/Robert Kelly for all of his dates.
BigJComedy.com.
We'll be back to say goodbye, I think. Maybe not.
Thank you for having me
Bonfire
on the show.
LA. We're having a blast.
Bonfire LA.